To understand this universe, we have to look at how it's structured. Time operates as a massive wheel, weaving all of reality into a multidimensional tapestry. And imprisoned outside of that creation, a chaotic, dark entity waits. During a past era known as the Age of Legends, male and female magic users, called Aes Sedai, wielded the one power in balance. They used these two distinct halves of magic to build a stable society free of war and poverty. That utopia collapsed when researchers reaching for a new, undivided magic source accidentally drilled a hole directly into the Dark One's cosmic prison. Human hubris, seeking absolute power, unwittingly unleashed ultimate evil into the world. The Aes Sedai launched a desperate counterattack. Their leader, Lews Therin, known as the Dragon, successfully sealed the hole, but the Dark One retaliated by tainting the male half of the magic source. The consequence was immediate. Every single male magic user in the world, including Lews Therin himself, was instantly driven violently insane. In their madness, these men used their godlike powers to tear continents apart, raise new mountains, and shatter civilization. History remembers this cataclysm as the breaking of the world. This leaves the world in a terrifying bind. Prophecy dictates that a male champion will eventually be reborn to fight the Dark One, meaning the world's only hope for salvation is a man destined to become a madman. 3,000 years pass. At the end of a bitter conflict called the Aiel War, an Aes Sedai has a sudden dying vision. The dragon has officially been reborn. Another Aes Sedai, Moiraine Damodred, takes on a secret mission. She spends the next 20 years hunting for this prophesied child to guide him before the Dark One's forces can locate and corrupt him. Moiraine's search zeroes in on a tiny, forgotten farming village called Emond's Field. She narrows her suspicion down to 3 ordinary youths, Rand, Mat, and Perrin. The fate of a 3,000-year cosmic struggle now rests entirely on 3 farm boys who don't even believe the ancient myths are real. On the eve of a spring festival, the Dark One's monstrous foot soldiers, Trollocs, violently ambush the village. The Shadow has also found the boys. Moiraine intervenes, but she knows the monsters will keep coming. She forces the youths to flee their home immediately, drawing the attackers away from their families. The group embarks on a frantic escape across the continent. To avoid the Trollocs, they make the desperate choice to hide in Shadar Logoth, an ancient, abandoned city consumed by a different, non-Dark One evil. The city's malevolence fractures the group. The separated survivors are forced to navigate hostile territories and rely on corrupted magical pathways, known as the Ways, to stay ahead of the search. While they run, the Dark One's lieutenant actively haunts the boys' dreams. He uses these nightmares to breed paranoia, turning the friends against each other. The group endures a relentless campaign of psychological isolation designed to break them before they can accept their destiny. The scattered group manages to reunite in the northern borderlands, but they immediately learn of a threat to a legendary location called the Eye of the World, forcing them directly into the monstrous wilderness of the Blight. The Eye is a hidden reservoir of pure, uncorrupted male magic, saved by dying Aes Sedai during the breaking of the world. When they reach the Eye, the group is ambushed by 2 Forsaken, ancient, mythically powerful servants of the Dark One, who have just been freed from their 3,000-year prison. The group has walked blindly into a trap. Terrified farm boys and an exhausted guide are now pitted against literal myths from the Age of Legends. Out of sheer desperation, Rand reaches into the Eye of the World, consciously channeling magic for the very first time. He uses this reservoir of pure power to destroy the Forsaken. He decimates the invading monster army at Tarwin's Gap and strikes a severe blow against the Dark One's lieutenant. By fulfilling the prophecies of battle, Rand definitively proves to the group who he really is, the Dragon Reborn. But the pure reservoir of the Eye is now exhausted. Moving forward, Rand is inextricably linked to the normal, corrupted male magic source. The world's prophesied savior has awakened to fight the Dark One, but in doing so, his unstoppable countdown to madness and global destruction has officially begun.